My dear students, I am your social teacher, MVM School, Yelahanka, Newton. Children, today's lesson Mauryas and Kushans. Lesson overview Maurya's reference sources Chandragupta Maurya, Emperor Ashoka, Kalinga War, Buddhism and Ashoka's inscription. Economic system during Maurya period, social system, administrate, art and architecture. The Kushanas and Kushanas contributions. So Mauryans. Mauryans can ruled in North India. So which are the places can rule? So this map only can says that. So Mauryas. India's first empire was Mauryan Empire. They ruled from Magadha, so most important king Chandragupta Maurya, Bindusara and Ashoka are the important king of this dynasty. So first Mauryan dynasty was the first empire of the India. So most famous king, already know that Mauryan kings, famous king Chandragupta Maurya, Ashoka are the important kings of this dynasty. This dynasty was established by Chandragupta Maurya. The name of Chandragupta Maurya was made eternal by recording it by Megasthenes. So he was a Greek ambassador. His book is Indica. Already first lesson we know that. So European writers or foreign writers Megasthenes visit to Chandragupta Mauryan time. So what are the changes? What are the contribution? All the real fact only can written the Indica book only. So which are the reference sources? So Mauryan dynasty is there. So can rule in India. Ashoka, Bimbisara, Chandragupta Maurya, who was most important kings. All the details. What is the contribution of Mauryans? All the details can given some reference sources. So he's already know that first lesson history we are not blindly accepted, only can base it on sources or materials only. Though the sources or materials are less, the available sources provide valuable information of Mauryans. The following are the sources. First one, Megasthenes Indica. Megasthenes was in India as the ambassador of Greek in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. He was as a visit as an ambassador. He was recorded his experience. So he can stay in Chandragupta's court. That's why what are the experience at Pataliputra, the capital of Mauryan Empire, in his book. So he can written all the experience in the book Indica. Though the original book is reminded untraced, later Greek writers like Arrian, Strabo, Diodorus, and Pliny refer to it their works. Indica reveals the city administration, social and religious life of Mauryan period. So, what is the social and religious life of Mauryan period? Kautilya's Arthashastra, another one references sources, Kautilya's Arthashastra. Already we know that Kautilya's Arthashastra is written by the teacher and Prime Minister of Chandragupta Maurya. What's the name? Kautilya. So another name, already we know that Chanakya or Vishnugupta. So Kautilya, Chanakya and Vishnugupta. Both same Kautilya's, another name only Chanakya and Vishnugupta. Arthashastra. So already first lesson you know that economics. Arthashastra means Arthashastra, that is Kannada word. So in English economics is written in Sanskrit at outline of basic principles on administration. So anyone king, what are the rules and regulation is there? So what is the administration purpose? Can follow the rules. So foreign affairs and judicial duties that a king ought to know. By reading this book, one can understand the politics, economy, and administration, social and other social and other aspects of Mauryan Empire. So many rules and regulation can introduced only Kautilya's Arthashastra. So another one, Mudra Rakshasa. This is a Sanskrit play written by Vishakadatta. In narrate the process of Chandragupta Maurya being brought into their power by Kautilya or Chanakya. So, what are the process in Murda Rakshasa? Another one, Deepa Vamsha and Mahavamsha. These two are Sri Lankan literary works. They narrate the efforts of Ashoka spread Buddhism in Sri Lanka. So already many newspaper already know that Ashoka was spread the Buddhism in his daughter and son Mahendra, and Sangamitra can spread the Buddhism in Sri Lanka also. Already you know that. So inscriptions of Ashoka. He is Ashoka. So Ashoka ruled the first dynasty, Mauryan dynasty. Ashoka's inscription by authentic sources of information on Ashoka. They tell about the boundaries of Ashoka's empire, his effort to spread the Dhamma and details of Kalinga battles. So all the inscription can give the details. Already you are studying 6th standard also, children. So many inscriptions can. This is only the inscription of Ashoka, Deepamsha, Mahavamsha, Mudra Rakshasa, Kautilya's Arthashastra, Megasthenes Indica. All the reference sources only. Children, he is Chandragupta Maurya. So can started 321 to 298 before Christ century only. Chandragupta Maurya. So he was the founder of Mauryan dynasty. Chandragupta came to power by dethroning the last king of Nanda dynasty. Under the guidance of his teacher Kautilya at the age 25, by this time the northwest of India was ruled by the representative of Alexander Seleucus Nicator till Punjab. So he started the ruling. In 305 before Christ, Chandragupta Maurya declared war against him, and the battle ended in an agreement. So, according to the Seleucus, handed over 4 territories that included today's Afghanistan and Balochistan to Chandragupta. So that is the one agreement, Seleucus and Chandragupta Maurya. So that's why can give an Afghanistan, Balochistan. Chandragupta Maurya. Moreover, he married his daughter to him, Seleucus' daughter. With this, the Magadha Empire established a rule over vast northwestern area. So, you can see the map, children. So, northwestern, Kabul, Takshashila, Punjab, Kandahar, all the places. So, Saurashtra, Ujjaini, Mathura, many places can occupy and rule. As per the Jain tradition, it is said that Chandragupta Maurya handed over this region to his son Bindusara. After accepting Jainism in his last days, it is said that he later travelled to Shravanabelagola in Karnataka along with Jain sages Bhadrabahu and others. So you can visit the Karnataka and can meet Bhadrabahu and others. Finally, the tradition says that he undertook Sallekana Vrata and passed away there itself. So own only, so can started Sallekana Vrata. So in end of the Chandragupta Maurya's life. So next, another emperor and most important. So all the Indian people can recognize it and remember. So that is the most important emperor, popular emperor of India. That is Ashoka. Can started the ruling 273 to 232 before Christ, a century only. The most powerful emperor of India, Ashoka, is from this dynasty, Mauryan dynasty. He was the son of Bindusara. He was the governor of Ujjaini and Takshashila during his father's reign. So, was governor can do the work in early time. He suppressed and uprising at Takshashila after the death of his father Bindusara. It is said that Ashoka had to kill all his 99 brothers to assume the throne. As per Buddhist tradition, probably there was an internal war among the brothers. So that is, all the brothers can assume the throne as per Buddhist tradition. And finally, about 4 years, and it is assumed that ascended throne in the year 269. He waged war against Kalinga. 8 years later, this was the only war waged by him after becoming a king. So, this is a historically memorable war also in Kalinga War. Ashoka declared war on the Kalingas who refused to accept the rule of Mauryan Empire in 261 before century. The 30th rock inscription says that Ashoka provided more information on this battle. According to its Ashoka declared war on Kalinga 8 years after assuming the throne. In this battle, 150,000 prisoners were taken. Can you imagine, children? 150,000 prisoners were taken. 1 lakh people died in Kalinga War. Many more become refugees. Though Kalinga won by Ashoka, he was disturbed by the death and the pain of the battle. So this is the last war also, and he decided not to wage war thereafter the ruling time. He considered victory of reasons is better than the victory in the battlefield. He went into the repentance of the seeing this devastation created by the war. So was most, so in next in Ashoka's life, so cannot another one war declaring. This is the last war also. On being inspired by Buddhism, he dedicated his remaining life to spread the message of peace. Buddhism and Ashoka. Buddhism, so this is the Kalinga War, so most of the people can died in Kalinga War. That's why Ashoka was disturbed. So all the 13th rock inscription also can says that how many lakh people can died, how many lakh prisoners can participate in the war. All the information can give 13th inscription. Buddhism and Ashoka. Ashoka accepted Buddhism after the Kalinga War. He made donations to Buddhist monasteries and vihars. He prohibited the killing of animals and birds in his kingdom. Ashoka declared that all his citizens are his children. He declared that all should be loyal to their parents and respect their elders and gurus. He wanted people to show compassion to poor and slaves too. So can give courtesy also. Live and let live, said he. Because Kalinga War he faced. He appointed officers named Dharma Mahamatras to preach the principles of Buddhism. He installed inscription all across the kingdom to preach the messages of Buddhism. Preachers were sent to other countries as well. A person named Rakshita was sent to Banavasi, and another person by name Mahadeva was sent to Mahishamandala, Mysore regions. He also sent his son Rahula and daughter Sangamitre to Sri Lanka in 250 before century. He organized the third Buddhist conference at Pataliputra. So third Buddhist conference at Pataliputra. Second only organized Ashoka only. So main reasons Kalinga war can declared what are the result, what are the effects can face it. That's why can accepted Buddhism. Ashoka's inscription. Ashoka is called as the father of inscriptions. So first only Ashoka can written many inscription made. That's why Ashoka is called as the father of inscription. So many inscription can see that. Till today, his inscriptions are the first inscription to be read in 1837 century. A British officer, James Princip, disappeared Ashoka's inscriptions for the first time. In all the inscriptions, instead of his name, his titles Devanampriya or Priyadarshini were used. Inscription instead of his name Devanampriya or Priyadarshini. Charles Baden, a British engineer, read the inscription at a mosque of Raichur in 15th century. In his inscription, Devanampriya Priyadarshi Ashoka reference appears for the first time. Based on this, it was decided that Devanampriya and Priyadarshi are the same. Later, in other inscriptions, the name Ashoka appears. So, Ashoka's inscription only. Ashoka inscriptions are found in Brahmagiri of Chitradurga district of Karnataka. The symbol depicted in the pillar of Saranatha is used the national emblem of India. Ashoka's inscriptions are available at 45 places across Indian subcontinent and Afghanistan with their 181 versions in most of the part of the Maurya Empire. The inscriptions are in Brahmi script or Prakrita script. Some of the inscriptions, the northwest, are in Aramic language and Kharoshthi language. So that is the style of Kharoshthi. In Afghanistan, they are Aramaic and Greek script. They are in Brahmi script. Already you know that. So this is only details about Ashoka's inscription. Many inscription he called only father of inscription. So is all the inscription can instead of his name Devanampriya or Priyadarshini only. So many British governor generals and many Britishers can read this inscription. So what is the contribution of the Ashokan time? So what is the policies can follow? All the details can minted only in inscription. So next, economic system during Mauryan period. What's the situation of economically in Mauryan period? So this is the first empire also. That's why there are evidence available sources which prove that lake and canal system of irrigation was good during Mauryan period. Pushyagupta, a governor during the reigns of Chandragupta Maurya, had built Sudarshana Sarovara, a dam in Junagadh of Gujarat. An officer named Tushapsa during these reasons of Ashoka built canal system for this dam. Megasthenes has also recorded the existence of irrigation canals. So children, first we are understanding in Mauryan time all the people, there's a main occupation agriculture. That's why can construct many lake and canals, can concentrate to irrigation facility also. The government was managing the agricultural sector. Prisoners of war and slaves were engaged in agricultural activities. Land tax was the main sources of revenue for the state. Every state also nowadays also in ancient time also land taxes only the main sources of revenue. A farmer was expected to pay on fourth of his income as tax to the state. Officers named Samhartha and Siddhanta were the charge of the tax collection and were also the custodians of the royal treasury. So these two officers only can maintain, can collect the taxes and submit the treasury. That's the work. The technology of producing metal alloys that evolved during these regions of Mauryans. As a result, urban based artifacts production and their marketing, and nowadays what are the in urban production, found place in the economy of Mauryan along with agriculture. So many materials, someone sources is there. There are major roads connecting the different part of empire from Pataliputra, the capital city of Mauryans. The major road to Nepal passing through Vaishali and Champaranya from Pataliputra was also there. A highway to Takshashila from Kaushambi passing through the present Delhi and Punjab was their merchants. So that is a road trading purpose only can construct, and one place to another place easy to travel. Merchants were transporting goods on these roads to sell within and outside the empire. Kachu marked silver coins were in circulation. So before silver coins, so circulation purpose only can minted and can circulations of Mauryan kingdom. This period is marked as the second phase of urbanization. So it can improvement economically improved. Social system. The social system was evolving out of the Varna based caste system. Already civilization time, so what's the Varna system, upper caste, lower caste, so all the social system we know that in Vedic period. During this period, people born in higher Varna could migrate to another Varna and gain better social acceptance and respect. So nowadays also many people so can join minority castes. Who's the lower category people are lower category people can join to another Varna system. There were few such openings for this mobility. Before also is there, now also is there. Brahmana and Kshatriya could interchange their status. So there's the first Brahmanas and next Kshatriyas. So that is interchange. Though the society was divided into four Varnas, namely priestly classes Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishya, and Shudra. Several castes were also present. Megasthenes records the presence of 7 castes in Mauryan society in his Indica. The Buddhist sources also confirm the existence of caste, though these castes were less rigid than in later periods. Caste system has started assuming rigidity during Maurya period. So Megasthenes Indica does not record the existence of slaves and dasas, slaveries, the Mauryan society. Though slavery was in practice during Mauryan rule, it was less harsh than the slavery of Greek and Roman societies. Shudra, as the last in the Varna system, were employed and agricultural laborers and domestic help. So in other category. So Brahmins and Kshatriyas. So can help to only lower category people only help to Brahmins and Kshatriyas. Administrative system. In Mauryan time, all the administration, so can centralized system can follow. The power was concentrated in the hands of the king, overall power. Hence, a huge number of officials unseen before were appointed to run the administration. There was a strong, many officials is there, network also is there, so can spread the messages and all the facilities there. Many minister, priest, prince and generals were the higher subordinates of the king. nowadays chief minister, so education minister, as it is same before also can administration is. The empire was divided to provinces. These were ruled by either princes or relatives of the king's family. Now districts, taluks, villages, so as it is, so can divide into provinces and appointed as a officers also. Takshashila, Ujjaini, Dhauli, Suvarnagiri and Girnar were the regional administrative centers, main centers. Officials like Justice Officer Rujuka, Yukta, Information Recording Officer, and others were there. The administration of Pataliputra was done by a group of 6 committees consisting the 30 officials, not only one or two, so many ministers and officials can maintain the administration system. Art and architecture. The contribution of Mauryans' art and architecture is a great significance. So, Megasthenes Indica also can record the grandeur of Mauryan palaces in Pataliputra. The wooden ruins of the palaces and fort around the palace in Pataliputra have been found during excavation. During the period of Ashoka, many stupas were built and pillars were erected. Among all the stupas that are found in Sanchi is the biggest. So most of the stupas can available in Sanchi. Around 30 pillars have been found and all are polished and made very smooth. The images of lion or ox are sculpted to these pillars. The national emblem of our four-headed lion is taken from the Ashoka pillars. Our national emblem of four-headed lion is taken from Ashoka's pillars of Saranatha. Apart from this, Ashoka built 3 rock-cut caves. Babar Hills, his son Dasharatha built 3 more rock-cut caves in Nagaruni Hills. These caves are also important creations of Mauryan period. So art and architecture, there is a contribution is memorable. Now also you know that, so there is a Ashoka's built 3 rock-cut caves and 4 national emblems also there is notification. Next, another one dynasty, Kushana dynasty. After the Greek, it has been Kushanas who have influenced Indian history and culture. They gave special impetus of spread of Buddhism. So already know that in both the Buddhism, Mahayana and Hinayana, so Kushans only can follow Mahayana sect and greater encouragement under this patronage. Gandhara sculpture flourished during this time also, and an important dynasty after the Mauryans, that is Kushana. So basically come from nomadic tribes, and so Kushanas also migrated to India and Central Asia. They were progeny of Yuchi, so you can come to Yuchi race. The Sakas and the Parthians were the other foreign communities and had settled in the northwestern part of India. Kushanas, as it is Mauryan, nearly only can stay. Kushanas defeated Shakas and the Parthians and settled in Gandhara region. So, Kushana dynasty founder Kujla cut pieces. So, next most important king of this dynasty, Kujla cut pieces and Vima cut pieces and Kanishka. So, noteworthy of the dynasty. The Yuchis were basically tribal people, come to tribal area. The Yuchi faction became united under the relationship, and so there is a leadership of Kujla cut pieces. He crossed the Hindu Kush range and settled in Kabul and Kashmir. During this time, Vema cut pieces can introduce the gold coins. There is a circulation purpose only. And sent onwards, the Kushana minted mainly gold and copper coins also. So can introduce richness of Kushana's time. Economically well in Kushana time. Kanishka, so can introduce it, this the gold coins in Kushanas can minted. So next another one ruler, so that is Kanishka. Kushanas, so Kanishka's rule. Kanishka come after Vima cut pieces. So already know that finder of this dynasty, Kujla cut pieces. In all the during this reason, Kushana dynasty expanded. Kanishka's time very greatly expanded. He established his rule in 78th century and here led it to new era. So that's why I can call it Shaka era, Saka era. Kanishka rule had spread up to Sanchi in the south and Banaras in the east. His kingdom, which included Central Asia too, was a vast empire. Purushapura was his capital. Mathura was another significant town of his time. Due to the patronage given by Kanishka, Buddhism could prosper much more than before. So you can rule it very well. So your administration also very well. We got to see many Buddhist scholars like Ashwagosha, most important Buddhist sage, Ashwagosha, Vasumitra, Sangraksha, and other during his time, in Kanishka time. The fourth Buddhist conference held at Kashmir under the leadership of Kanishka, like Ashoka, as it is same. Already Ashoka also can Buddhist conference can started. So third Buddhist conference at Pataliputra Ashoka only can made. So this is the fourth Buddhist conference was held in Kashmir under the leadership of Kanishka, like Ashoka. Even Kanishka sent mission to Central Asia and China to spread Buddhism during this reason. Art and architecture got encouragement. Many contribution Kanishkas is there, but you are 8th standard, go to higher classes. All the information you are studying in higher classes only. Children, I give the one activity, children. So first you can draw India map, 57 page. Draw India map and label all the places, children. So Mathura, Prayaga, Ujjaini, Saurashtra, all the places, Kalinga, Maski. So at least 10 places in label. Can understand, children? Thank you. Have a nice day.